Guys awake? Not that late today. It is Saturday. I reserve the right to be late on a Saturday. We actually started pretty much on time for this show. That billboard is from Revolution News on Facebook, and that doesn't look like a Photoshop billboard to me. If it is, it's a great job with the Photoshop, but that's supposedly sitting in Phoenix, Arizona right now. And I've seen many of these. So much goodness about our president. All right. 45 there. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Justin Bryce, Jupiter Judy, Granite State Burner. We have Laura Livengood with us today, and Markus with us. Hey, Markus, Laura, how you guys doing?
Hey, cool kids.
Hey, John. Hey. Hello, Marco.
Thank you guys for being here. All sorts of fun with Germany yesterday. we're gonna get into that. Who else is here? Density. Good morning, Luis, Jaw 64Fi. How you doing? That's pretty cool. Lynn, good to see you.
Barbara.
Barbara, yeah. If there's anybody, stock post, if there's anybody here that was a wrench before that I failed to re-wrench, let me know and I will wrench you. Hey, Bad Wolf. You still have wrench. She got the notifications. Good to see you. Holy shit. And you still have your wrench on this channel, so that's good. That's fantastic. Awesome. Wonderful. All right, we got stuff going on. So that cover is nice. It talks about I'll just go to the meme. I'm just gonna go to the meme. It's too good. This really sums up Trump's visit with Merkel. What did I tell you about hiring Nazis? Not to. And what did you do? Hired Nazis. That's Trump. Why are you such a stupid man? If we had had you as president in the 30s, we would have won. I mean, think about that, Markus. If America had been run by Trump in the 30s, we'd all be speaking German now. Holy shit.
Yeah. And then you could read Der Spiegel.
Yes. Yes, I'd be able to read Der Spiegel.
No, you couldn't, because Der Spiegel was forbidden then.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Well.
Jupiter Judy needs a wrench. Jeffrey needs a wrench. We've got a couple in here.
All right, good. Thank you for letting me know. I will get right on that with the wrenches. Let's see. There we go. Where are you, Jupiter? There you go. And Jeffrey, there you go.
Yeah, wrenches are specific to channels, so if you have not been a wrench on this channel before, you will not be one now.
All right, was that it? Jeffrey, who else is here?
Hi, Jeffrey.
Hi, everybody.
That's good. Everybody just shout out, wrench me, please.
James.
Only if you were a wrench before.
Melissa, and not that you can't be a wrench now. We just have to go through a little bit of trainings and such. And I would love to have you guys' help over on Truth Against the Machine when we're over there tomorrow.
Yes.
If this goes down, all right, we're waiting to see if they can pull together all the content and everything. They got a lot to get done in a day. Mm-hmm. And if they get it done, then we will have this broadcast tomorrow on their channel, and when we're over on their channel, we will wrench you guys so that we have moderators and help, and we'll be doing that. We're doing the full engagement thing. They're doing it. So very excited about that. So nice. Hey, Lisa Dix. Hey. Hi, Ellis Ray.
Yeah.
Hi. Oh my gosh, so many good people. Is it because we started broadcasting on this channel again that some of you found that it came back?
Yeah.
Hey, Al.
I bet.
Yeah. Topsy Turvy. Wonderful. Oh, we're having fun. So this channel is getting rebranded as Uphill Media simply because, well, it's time to, I don't know. I still have the original Bernie TV, and it'll be there, and it's fine, and don't worry about that. None of the content's ever going to get deleted or moved. It's all going to stay there because it's content that you guys helped create, right? It's all part of the record of how hard we worked to watch Bernie get screwed. And so, yeah, this channel is going to get moved to Uphill Media. Look, we have Spiffy. This is even a co-branding Spiffy graph that Ash made. Very cool. And yeah, so we got all this stuff, and we'll be doing new shows. Well, thank you for sharing. Good to see you guys. So exciting. Okay, so I wanted to read this with like a very serious face, because I thought this. I'm surprised that Trump did not push this story as being a true story, because it would save us dollars, and I thought that was right along what he would prefer to do. Study finds that mass extinction could free up billions of dollars in conservation funding by 2020. Sources say that if over half the species on the planet were destroyed and devastated, we really wouldn't need to spend a lot of money in saving them, would we? Trump should have pushed that as fact and said, see, I'm making the world great again by killing half of it. We don't have to take care of it.
That whole minimalism thing, I can get into that.
We don't need 90 different versions of that butterfly. Two butterflies. That's all we need. 2 bees. Why do we need more than that? Diversity. What? Yes, Bernice, I did. Actually, Bernice, I did get the video tweet and had the video, and then I forgot to load it in here. But I did get that. We could run that. We're going to run a Chris Hedges thing, which is not going to be happy because I've never heard Chris be happy ever. That's going to take up a chunk of time. Thank you for reminding me again, Bernice. But I do have the link now. I have it. Maybe I can just, we'll see where we're at with time, and we'll run it. But I did get it. Thank you. So, well, that's what's being done in the Middle East anyway? Yes. Yes, it is. It is. That kind of looks like the Middle East, the picture they used. There's anywhere the United States has been or provided quote-unquote support. That's Yemen, where we're providing support, where we sold $150 billion of weapons to Saudi Arabia, who are now using them on human beings in Yemen. That's us. That's on us. We already do this. Anyway, moving on. I feel safer. Do you? I feel safer. I feel safe for Merkel. She's scary. She asked Trump to shake hands. She's got bigger hands than him. It's pretty obvious.
It scared him.
Shit, scare me too. Did you? I mean, there are children. Most children know how to behave in front of an adult in a room, particularly when they're being watched by other adults. He just literally.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And he even had the expression of a 5-year-old in his face. You know?
He did.
This was hilarious to see.
I'm not kissing Grandma.
I made a poopy. That's what his face said the whole time. I made a poopy. I'm sitting on my poopy, and I made a poopy.
I don't like it. Bet.
That's our president. That's what my brother voted for. I'm going to pick on my brother for the rest of this fucking presidency. I swear to God.
And it's somebody else's fault.
And yes, he has never once. That's changing though. Other nations are now starting him to hold him accountable for the shit come out of his mouth. Right. What I was trying to say earlier about this, Laura Lavengo, that I couldn't articulate because I couldn't remember, is the fact that the judge that recently overturned the latest version of the Muslim ban. Mm-hmm. Overturned it based on Trump's original words about it. Didn't let him revise. That's the difference. It's like, no, it's still a fucking bullshit. No, don't care what you call it.
Yeah, right? It's public record. You can't really argue with that.
That's, and now he's got the British people pissed off at making shit up about Britain, making shit up about him in Germany, camaraderie. We were talking about Markus being wiretapped. Tapped like lasers, wiretapping, right? Just make sure we get that right there.
Those special wiretapping drones, right?
Yes, wiretapping, microwave wiretapping drones. We've got, you can put them in sharks. Yes. Send them to Germany.
NATO.
And that's even, I don't know where. I just want to make an apology to Germany and to everybody else that Trump currently says owes us money. The people in NATO that I don't even understand where the fuck that comes from. Here's my understanding of this as an American. After World War II, America said, let's put our military everywhere. And other nations said, okay. And we all and now America has like 1,000 military bases on every fucking part of the earth and says we're there protecting you. Why haven't you footed the bill? That's kind of how, it's like nobody asked for your protection. It's kind of like the gang that comes down the block and says, you're going to pay me $50 a month, right? For protection from me, you motherfucker. That's what is going on here. Germany didn't ask for this. Nobody needs this today. We can all take care of ourselves. America needs to pack up and go the fuck home. That's, truthfully, get the fuck out of everybody's country. Ours is almost dead. Ours is on life support, and we're over there trooping around in fucking Germany and asking them to pay a bill. I'm sorry. I apologize on behalf of America. Our dick has gotten in the way. I'm very sorry.
I think there is no apology needed, because I don't agree here, because I think the NATO is important. Of course, the NATO needs to be redefined from its grounds.
Yes.
But the NATO guaranteed peace for many, many decades in Europe, and this should not be forgotten. You know?
No. While we were keeping up the premise of the Cold War, yes, NATO kept peace. Yes.
But where I disagree with Trump and his demand that his latest Twitter feed, that he demanded that Germany has a lot of debts to NATO and to the USA. Okay, then I would suggest to sum up how much money Europe and Germany invest in taking care for the refugees caused by those stupid wars.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the scary part right there. Thank you for saying that, Marcus. Do you really want to add up the numbers, USA? Because I don't think we'd like the tally. I don't think we'd like it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and how much?
I think we should get a good part of the money back. What we spent already.
Well, how much money Germany owes? I mean, Germany loans to Trump, right? He loves
to Trump.
He loves
to Trump himself.
Yeah.
I think it's the other way around, because Trump is 45 is a very close business partner with the Deutsche Bank here.
Yeah.
I think the Deutsche Bank is very afraid that Trump wouldn't pay back his debts to the Deutsche Bank.
Yeah. Interesting. It's what a fun. Marcus, I know Marcus's camera is out of focus, you guys. We're just gonna blame that on Germany. That's all it is.
Yes. Give it to me.
I have a doll for that, Marcus. I gotta tell you this. Working with Truth Against the Machine, I forgot that they could see that in the screen, and so I'm meeting some new person in the group. It's like, what's that doll? And and then I have to explain. Oh, okay, I get it. But it really lends to my credibility, Marcus. I appreciate it. As the American credit score drops just universally, that doesn't help me much at all. I just gotta say. Russia, I'm sorry. Joanne, I am is correct. We can't blame you. Your out of focus is Russia's fault, Marcus.
Yes.
Okay.
Russia. Donna, Brazil, and Russia. Blame them both.
But maybe it is not even a technical or a Russian fault. Maybe it was because I was late at bed yesterday after the town hall. So it's my physical state of being today.
Yes. Your aura is out of
There
focus.
it is. All right. Moving on from just Trump and Germany and all sorts of fun stuff. Although we have some more later. There was just so much good that came out of that. Here's we were talking about this. Your gerbs, you guys, your gerbs are there. We're all the rednecks that wanted gerbs. They're worried about people stealing those gerbs.
Good gerbs. Good gerbs.
Here, I gotta pull up my card, or else it's just here. There you go. See, white folks not taking the gerbs. I don't know what the deal is. This story is really kind of sad. This guy, this is a farmer in Napa Valley. He's on a desperate mission to find people. He's wandering around this town. He's got stacks of money. He's offering better pay. What can we do to recruit you? The only people he can find are a couple drug addicts on the street. None of the white folk want to pick his fruit or his vegetables or whatever the hell he's growing. It's like, since I voted for Trump and all of the immigrant workers are gone that were doing all the hard labor, it turns out there's no Americans that want to pick up the slack there and get a gerb. Imagine that.
Fancy that.
Yeah, and he says that people that have actually signed up to do the work don't want to do it. It's too hard. They don't last. Lazy fucking Americans, right there. There's your All the people that are complaining about the immigrants right now wouldn't last a day doing the work that these people were doing.
And Trump will say you've got to be a rocket scientist to find out that those people, when they are once banned, that there are no other people who take over their jobs, right?
Yep.
Good.
Yep. It's ridiculous. Now, flip side of things, good side of things. What are you guys talking about? Mar-a-Lago? He's going there again. This trip number 7? Seriously.
The Winter White House.
Winter White
Southern
House.
White
He's
House.
there again.
Which do they call it?
It's the
Southern
Winter White.
House.
It's the winter. I think it's both. The Winter Southern White House. She's destroyed the economy down there. Nobody wants him back, and he's going there for a 7th time. Here's how hard our executives work when you put lazy ass white greedy fuck men in these kind of top dudes. How hard does Rexon work? He canceled his trip to wherever the fuck he is early, citing fatigue. It's like,
oh no,
really? You just started, dude. You just started, and you're getting paid well, and you're getting all sorts of perks, and you're destroying the earth, but you're fatigued while 45 is off golfing again? I mean, and we're paying for this. We're paying for him to golf at a place he owns. We're double paying him. It's just it's just ridiculous. NATO is needed in the world right now, unfortunately. Not if we're the major portion of it. I disagree. We're the largest terrorist on the block. NATO should be fighting us.
Yeah, I mean, we are basically embedded everywhere, right?
Yeah, we are. Trump should donate to pay to the Secret Service. Trump is supposed to donate his pay, and he has not. The White House said we'll make a comment about that later. He's taken 2 paychecks so far. 2 paychecks, 7 trips to Mar-a-Lago. And each trip costs about $2.5 million.
Okay, wouldn't it be reasonable if he stays all the time in Mar-a-Lago?
And does nothing? Sure, we can just sit outdoors and talk foreign policy and secret bullshit.
What is he doing right now? I mean,
he's on Twitter
papers,
right now.
I mean, signing
better
papers.
internet? I don't know.
I mean, signing papers or documents he even read or doesn't understand that he can do from Mar-a-Lago, right?
Yeah.
Jupiter Judy, last thing I heard, he's taking a paycheck. They haven't stopped the paycheck. He was supposed to donate that pay. He said he was going to donate the pay. He has not. Was that what he's saying? He has got to pick a charity? Is that what the problem is? Let me know if that's it. If that's what their latest comeback is, they got to pick a charity still. That's. Thank him so much for giving back. Wow. All right, moving on. I don't want to talk about him too much longer. It's pissing me off. This is a good thing. Removed healthcare subsidies for members of Congress and their families. Okay. So first of all, it's a petition. We need this to happen. I want to make this happen. Obviously, the members of Congress are not going to make this happen, but they're going to get a message from this. This has almost the last was the screenshot. Where are we at here? 623. I bet if let's update it. See where we're at. We're at 634,990 signatures so far. Their initial goal was to reach. I don't even know what their initial goal was. I just knew that they hit 300,000 supporters in a day or two. And I think it's a message when you have 1 million Americans willing to sign this to say, yo, you don't get good health care that we pay for while we get shit. And that's not a partisan issue. That's just across the board, right? Coal miner in West Virginia thinks everybody in America deserves health care. So, I signed it. Do they have an effect? They have a public effect. They have a pressure effect. It's all part of that. You know, does it mean Congress is going to act on it? No, not until we go into Congress. And we could make that. We could make that happen. We could make that happen in our state. We could say our state reps get only the health care that we get. You know, unless they're willing to pay for private. I don't even know if we cover private health care for our state reps. I have no idea. But, you know, that's something we could do. Right? Just, how are you guys doing in chat, by the way? What's going on, Chris Ferguson? I totally forgot that we have you here and you're being a comment moderator and yeah.
Oh man, there's a lot going on. It's kind of just spotty. Somebody put up a Google Doc sheet that I haven't looked at.
I see that. Hey, Democracy Theater.
Right. Yeah, wrenches and that kind of stuff. But I just kind of listen to what you guys are doing.
Nice.
Do we have a link for that petition?
It's in the
I'll find it.
all the links are in the description, guys. We'll get that in there to you. What do I think of Justice Democrats? I hear they're doing good stuff. I haven't really dove in deep. I think all of these groups are good and important. Anybody that's massing people together to organize, to get funds together, to put people in office that are the people we want in office. Abso-fucking-lutely. I support it all. And the most important piece of all of that, and it seems to be coming back as the most important piece, it's not, I mean, the money in politics, of course, is like the primary thing. But even more important than that, I think, is whoever we choose has to understand that the bullshit that went down with Donna Brazile and Hillary Clinton and WikiLeaks releasing the information to DNC, that they have to understand that that's not okay. That bullshit will never be allowed to happen again, and that their ass will be kicked out of office so fast if we find them engaging in that kind of bullshit, that kind of backhanded, let's see if we can fuck this other guy out of winning simply because we don't feel he deserves. Your job is to represent what the people damn well want. That's what we want to make sure you understand. And I think that's the most critical aspect of all of this for any of our new politicians. Not even the money, right? Anyway, that's just me. Yes, like, share, subscribe. Thank you, Jupiter Judy. Appreciate that. How many people we got hanging out today? I haven't even checked. 52? Hi, guys. Hi, everybody. All right. More Trump being an asshole kind of stuff. Trump administration rescinds Obama guidance on student loan defaults. I still have at least one student loan out there, and this means that all of the accrued interest and all that, they can change the rates, they can fine me, they can do whatever they want now. They can make that loan even more unpayable by students. There's more than $1 trillion in student loan debt, and I think all of it should be repaid by the military. I had no interest in paying into the military. You've taken most of my money. I'd like it back to cover my education, please. That's, so there's Betsy DeVos. That's the first thing she's done for education for us, is to allow the people holding your student loan debt to charge you more on that student loan debt. Making America great again. Very wonderful. What's this? Oh, yeah, you guys will like this. This is, have you seen the Ireland, the Irish, is it the Irish Prime Minister? Immigrant? I don't know who this guy is. Yeah, Ireland's PM. Trash Trump.
Oh, good.
You guys see
Share
this? Ireland, by the way, Irish people came to America as immigrants, obviously. All the white people did. All the people that weren't here in the first place. And they were not treated well. Go back and look in history in the pre-industrial revolution, and a lot of people were racist against Irish folk. A lot of people were racist against each other back in those times, and you had groups, ethnic groups ganging together in different areas, and that was just the way people were. It really wasn't very nice, right? But this is kind of cool, because this is basically the Irish Prime Minister schooling Trump right in front of Trump, right in front of everybody. I don't know that Trump understands or gets what's going on, but yeah, it's nice. Let's listen to it.
On our own.
Yeah. All right, do that.
On our own independence since 1922. It's fitting that we gather here each year to celebrate St. Patrick and his legacy. He too, of course, was an immigrant. And though he is, of course, the patron saint of Ireland for many people around the globe, he's also a symbol of, indeed, the patron of immigrants. Here in America, new great country, 35 million people claim Irish heritage, and the Irish have contributed to the economic, social, political and cultural life of this great country over the last 200 years. Ireland came to America because, deprived of liberty, deprived of opportunity, of safety, of even food itself, the Irish believed 4 decades before Lady Liberty lifted her lamp, we were the wretched refuse on the teeming shore. We believed in the shelter of America, in the compassion of America, in the opportunity of America. We came and we became Americans. We lived the words of John F. Kennedy long before he uttered them. We asked not what America could do for us, but what we could do for America, and we still do.
Well said. And you know what their test was? Do you know what it cost them to get into America besides a lot of, shit once they got in? You know what the cost was? Getting here, and then they had to write their name on a piece of paper and be sprayed for lice. Those were the qualifications to be an American back then. Long as you could write your name on a piece of paper, bend over, and get sprayed for lice, you were good to go in America. Somewhere along the lines, we decided that wasn't good enough, that being a human being wasn't good enough. Lice-free human being, whatever. We decided it wasn't good enough. And America decided to make it cost money to get in. It costs money. Most Americans today couldn't afford to become an American today. Most Americans today couldn't pass the citizenship test to be an American today. Yet most Americans who think Trump is great are crying about other people that know more about America than they do. I don't think Trump even understood a thing that Irish guy said, but it's immigrants.
To be honest, Trump looks like he was thinking about Mar-a-Lago and hole number 13.
Yeah, absolutely. He was somewhere else. I hate this job. I hate this job. And, Nazis. She told me not to get Nazis. They were sprayed with DDT? Okay. I'm sure they were. I'm sure it wasn't good. Whatever we were using, whatever we were doing back then, I know it was not good. Medical practices, not great. Okay, morphine came around. Like using morphine at all in surgery came around Civil War time. So I know. Whatever we gave for lice was not great. I just know that was like the primary things. Like this, not bring you in with some diseases, send you off into the culture and go work, go do things. Yeah, you don't even need a proof of who you were. Most people change their name, like Drumpf. Anyway, moving on. Justice Democrats is funded by viewers only. That's great. It's absolutely outstanding, as it should be. It's fantastic. Cool stuff. Actually, no, let's make sure I didn't miss anything on my list. We did the meme. Ireland says fuck you to 45. Fuck you for learning. We talked about that. Good. Bitchy like France. Where's bitchy like France? I think Jake is before bitchy like France. We become bitchy like France, and it's a good thing. I just want to say. All right, Jake is before. I have a mental block on the name. Again, Laura, Jake.
Oh, Jake Jacobs.
Thank you. It's right here in his name. He wrote the article. If I just look at the goddamn article. So Jake Jacobs, you could be listening right now. And Jake Jacobs has been part of the Bernie 2016 TV volunteer group for a long time, like way back in the beginning. And he was a member of BATS, the Badass Teacher Association of New York. And they did a lot of stuff to help Bernie in the beginning, and they were very outspoken about Bernie. And now it turns out that our very own Jake Jacobs is working for TATM. And so we're going to play his video here. This is very cool. He's doing a little 2-minute piece on education reform, standardized tests, charter schools, and Common Core, all things that Betsy DeVos knows nothing about. So let's listen to Jake and congratulate Jake on joining the volunteer team at TATM.
City school teacher. I'm also an education researcher and activist.
Let's start at the beginning.
Hi, I'm Jake Jacobs, and I'm a New York City school teacher. I'm also an education researcher and activist and media and policy watchdog. Whatever you want to call it, I do it. Because the corporate media for a long time has not been serving the public interest. And the country is getting a lot more aware now that Donald Trump has appointed Betsy DeVos to be Secretary of Education about the movement to privatize public schools. But we don't hear too much about the fact that Democrats have been doing this for a long time too. Although they prefer to call it education reform, it centers around high-stakes standardized tests, charter schools, and Common Core. and a bunch of other policies that are actually brought to us by corporate lobbyists and particular billionaires, just like Betsy DeVos. So whether it's Republicans or Democrats, there is a lot of seedy pay-for policy going on. And the WikiLeaks are showing us now particular names and dates and meetings that involve the Obama administration, Jeb Bush, the Hillary campaign, the teachers' unions, John Podesta, Neera Tanden. I mean, the list goes on and on. And so I am looking forward to working with Truth Against the Machine to share the information outside of the corporate media, to speak to officials and politicians and other media pundits, and getting them on the record and explaining what's going on in real classrooms, because there is a big disconnect. People are not listening to teachers, parents, students. We have proof and evidence that the policies are invalid. They haven't been working for quite some time. And, the media machine is a part of that. So people need to hear the truth, and stay tuned to hear more about education and what's really going on in classrooms. Thanks.
Awesome, from Jake Jacobs. Nice little video he put together there. And looking forward to hearing more from him. I reached out to him in our Slack to see if he was interested in working on anything together. So congratulations on that. More for the ground game for us. And no nasty in the chat. I don't know what's going on there. But
Yeah, it's getting a little testy in here.
all right. Knock it off, everybody. I want everybody to sit back and smoke a bowl. We got a 12-minute piece coming up with Chris Hedges. It's going to be very depressing. So I need everybody being on their most not depressed. All right? So you're gonna have to deal with that deep shit. Moving on. This is how we're bitchy like France. And I don't mean bitchy in a bad way. I mean bitchy in a good way. OSU tuition hike vote delayed after protest disrupts board meeting. You would have never heard anything like this happening before. Kids would have just been like, oh, we got to pay $2 more. So this board meeting was to get together and discuss the idea of raising tuition, and a group of students went in, disrupted the meeting, protested for a long-ass time, and they finally said, all right, we'll cancel the meeting, we'll have it again, we understand what you say, we've heard your concerns, thank you, thank you, thank you. Which is exactly how democracy works. You take the time to show up, and it means so much more than any other way you could complain or state your opinion on something, right? So I think that's fantastic. Bitchy like France. Why like France? Because I keep telling this story, and Markus remembers it, and I don't even remember. Well, it was about tuition. That's why it's so perfect, because it was about tuition. Or in Germany, somewhere. Was it Germany, tuition? Remember, we talk about this all the time, Markus. I think it was France 10 years ago, and they were complaining about a tuition hike, or having to pay tuition at all, or something like that.
Yes, it was France.
It was France. And the students, they didn't just go in and protest. These kids were nice. I mean, they screamed and whatever, chanted in the protest, but they didn't break shit. Right? In France, they were out in the streets throwing tear gas and breaking things and going, you will not charge me more money for my education. I fought in your general direction. Right? No, they didn't go on Monty Python either. But I'm just saying, I remember watching that 10 years ago and going, holy shit, look at what the people in France do when their government's thinking about something as insignificant as a $2 hike on paying for education that already kicks ass, right? That, and here today, we have OSU students going into the office and saying, how, you are not raising my fucking tuition. Yay, we're bitchy like France. See? It's wonderful.
I see what you did there.
Thank you. Put your ears, you guys, smoke a joint if depressed. I got all sorts of Jack Herrera here for that. Mm-hmm. Except I'm going to continue calling it Jack Herrera just because I'm a white guy and I've been saying that forever. I feel real dumb now. I want to make sure I got nothing on my list. I should do that. That's a better idea. What do we got? Ground game, bitchy like France. We've gone plaid. Is that really what's next? I have this weed thing next. Oh, wait. Okay, we're almost there. We got it's a weed thing, and then this is more ground game. I put this under ground game, and then I'll talk about going plaid, because we really did go plaid. But this is stupid. So how long has Oregon been involved in legal weed? A year, 2 years? And already we're coming across corruption and people in government wanting to sidestep the real issue here. So Oregon proposes less pesticide testing for pot. Critics say this allows a poison product. Yes, it does. What we're talking about concentrates. And some big growers use pesticides. You can get such a variety of weed in Oregon. You can definitely find a dispensary that is getting from a grower that does not use pesticides, and that is preferred, right? Or you grow your own and you know exactly what you do with your weed. But growers that choose to use pesticides are limited to certain amounts and things, and there's a lot of testing that goes on. And the testing, of course, is expensive and many. One of the problems they have is with the testing and with the testing of concentrates, because what can happen is after the concentrate is done, or somewhere in the concentrate process, the pesticide levels can spike. And if you're not testing for pesticides at that point in the process, then you might as well not test for them at all. And that's kind of what they're saying. They're like, well, why don't we just not bother then if we have to wait till it's all processed to see if the pesticides are in there, well, let's just forget about it, which makes absolutely no fucking sense, right? They're saying it's a burden on the state to have to invest in this, blah, 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 blah. And people are saying we don't want pesticide-ridden concentrates. Especially when some of the pesticides we know now, and pretty much all pesticides, are going to be harmful to us, harmful to the plant, right? So already, we got people in Oregon, people in power, trying to wheel and deal and make things with the organization less. We need higher standards always, not lower standards. Right? So anyway, just pissed me off. That's part of ground game. Why does that matter? Because I can work my way onto a OLCC board commission position somewhere, right? Which is the Oregon liquor, I can get on somewhere. I can get involved with that. We can get involved with that. We can get involved with how our state handles the quality of our booze, our weed, whatever it is. Right? All these little things are at our control. That was what I was saying. I was like, get involved with this right now. I believe in a pesticide-free weed. I don't think you need pesticides. I think you can grow the right crops. You can use non-pesticide solutions. I know Laura Livengood knows there's all sorts of goddamn ways to not use pesticides and grow stuff. Right?
Oh yeah. So. You don't turn your plants into junkies with chemical pesticides and chemical fertilizers. You use natural ingredients. And
yes.
Mycorrhizae and all microbes and all those things.
And we used to know this. Humans knew this a long time ago. It was a part of nature. It was a part of what we used to do. We understood how all these things work together. And we're getting back there. We're fighting industry that wants us to purchase their pesticides for their weed. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about more weed later, but I just want to say there's an article going around, and I haven't read the full thing yet, but it talks about the government weed. The government's weed is terrible, apparently. Like, I don't know what they're doing wrong, but they're not growing good weed. Which makes sense.
Are you surprised?
No, I'm not. But I guess in a way I am. Like, it's the same fallacy that America is great, or America is the number one. It's that, like, I would just assume as a dumb American that our government had figured out how to grow the chronic at this point and was hiding it from everybody. Like, we've got the super weed. Fuck you. We're only going to give it to our military or whatever. And no, that's not the case. Our government just grows shitty weed, apparently. So I think it takes a soul to grow good pot. To grow anything takes a soul. Our government has no soul right now. The United Corporation of America, which Trump said, he didn't say that a quote, but he called us a corporation. He said this at the meeting with Merkel. She's standing next to, when they do the 2 podium thing outside, and she's standing there just like, can I go? I need to go now. And he's just like, we're a very powerful corporate business country. And she just looks over at him like, oh my fucking God. This man.
What they said was true.
This man needs his own Nuremberg. We'll run that clip. This is it. Oh, we're there. I think. I don't know. Either this is it or this is the next. I got a lot of clips from this. This is here. I don't even know which one this is. We're just gonna run this one because it's so good. Here. And frame it up. There we go.
Did White House claim?
Oh, this is the Germans.
Did White House claims that the alleged wiretapping on you, on the Trump Tower, on Trump Organization, or on members of your campaign was that British intelligence was either responsible for it or involved in it. After these claims are rejected, what is your take on that? Are there other suspects, or do you think it was a mistake to blame British intelligence for this?
We said nothing. All we did was quote a certain very talented legal mind who was the one responsible for saying that on television. I didn't make an opinion on it. That was a statement made by a very talented lawyer on Fox. And so you shouldn't be talking to me, you should be talking to Fox.
Fox News cannot confirm Judge Napolitano's commentary. Fox News knows of no evidence of any kind that the now President of the United States was surveilled at any time in any way. Full stop.
That's how we've gone full plaid. That's full plaid. I reference Spaceballs because when you've gone full plaid, things are beyond. It's like beyond Twilight Zone. We have the President of the United States referencing Fox News as a legitimate source for something completely bullshit. We have Fox News coming on to say it's absolute bullshit. And in the world today, Fox News now has more credibility than the White House. I just want to point that out.
The White House said, go talk to Fox News and listen to what they say. And, well, there you go. He set himself up.
Exactly, bro.
It doesn't get any better than that. It just...
Oh, I know. You can't buy a comedy like this.
No.
Nobody can make this up, this shit. This is unbelievable.
Is Mel Brooks still around? Because, my God, he needs to make this a musical. 45, the musical. There needs to be... It's better than Hitler in Springtime already. It really is. Here's Trump calling the United States a company, which really isn't an error. If you think about it, he's just calling it what he knows it is. He's just like, they were telling Donnie, you can't call us a business. I know you can't call us a business when you're in public, okay? Only in private you call us a business, okay? So let's listen to him say this. I'm gonna run this piece. Poor Merkel. She spent so much time with the man. How are you gonna play?
Accumulation of debt. We're a very powerful country. We're a very strong country. We'll soon be.
Did you hear that?
Accumulation of debt. We're a very powerful country. We're a very strong country. We'll soon.
We're a very powerful country.
Strong. Big.
Mel is still alive. He needs to make that damn Mel. Get on it. He probably is. Like, it's writing itself. I don't have to do anything. Anyway, we're okay. This is some cool stuff. There's a couple reasons why this is cool stuff. This is a little clip, 2-minute clip. Bernie Sanders. I actually think this happened a while ago. I don't remember when this happened. Maybe this was recent, but I don't think so. I don't know. Anyway, it's inspiring. And even if it was a while ago, it means a lot more now when you think about it. So many of the Bernie statements have so much more connective meaning today now that we understand that we can't just watch Bernie and wonder why he didn't get it done. Right? So, that's not where I want it to be. Here we go. This is a millennial, Kenneth Mejia, inspired by Bernie Sanders, and he's running in California 34. Now, I don't know what happened. Maybe, like I said, I think this is in the past. But they just posted this, and this is posted, the other reason this is cool. This is posted by Our Revolution TV. And if you're not familiar with Our Revolution TV, the group that they are is a branch off of the volunteer group that was Bernie 2016 TV. And they use similar technology to what we use here. And so I'm kind of proud of that. There's like 3 or 4 little satellite branches all around that are just volunteer groups that branched off from us and are still going strong and doing their own thing. And I wish them well. And it's really cool to be able to use this material, which looks like they scraped it from Revolt, which, whatever. But here we go.
USC, how are you?
Hi, Senator Sanders. My name is Kenneth Mejia, and I am a 25-year-old born and raised in LA. And I just want to say I believe in your message of compassion, courage, and fairness. And because of you, I'm actually running for United States Representative here in LA for District 34 because for the June 7th primary, because I actually want to help my community of LA. So my question to you is, what advice do you have for young people like me who are running for Congress and who basically want to help our nation with wealth and income equality for all, and not just the privileged few?
Well, Kenneth, congratulations. It takes guts to do that, and I applaud you. What I want you, here's my brief message, and I've run once or twice for office myself, many times. All right, first of all, I think you're running for the right reason, okay? You know, there are some people, when I've talked to them, they say, oh, you know what, I want to be a governor, I want to be a senator, I want to be a president. They don't even know why they want to do that. It's called careerism. I want to do it because I want to do it. That's not a good reason. What you have to do is go into your own heart, and you got to speak to the people in your community, and you have got to have the courage to feel the pain in your community. Go knocking on doors. Talk to elderly people who are trying to get by on $10,000 a year Social Security, and then understand Republicans want to cut Social Security when these people are barely making it. Go and talk to veterans who are disabled. See if they're getting a fair shake from a government that they put their lives on the line to defend. Talk to working people in your community who are trying to get by on $11 an hour, and see if they can feed their families on $11 an hour. Talk to the single moms out there and see how they're doing. In other words, you have got to become imbued with a passion. You have got to sense the pain, and there is a lot of pain in this country. Maybe visit a local jail. Go to a local jail and talk to the people in there. How did they get into jail? Did they get the education they need? Why did they get involved in drugs? Learn about that, and then have the guts. And the guts is to stand up to powerful people, and not a lot of folks have that courage. That's my message.
Thank you for sharing your point of view.
Doesn't get any better than that. Bernie Sanders still inspires me.
Yep.
If we had a 535 Bernie Sanders right now, this would be a wonderful world. And we're on our way. I think we've got a lot of them rising up in the towns and cities and counties across our nation. Yeah, what an amazing man. Absolutely, Paula. Absolutely. Just fantastic. All right. Are we here at the big, long, deep shit? Oh, that was terrible. Big, long, deep shit. That's what I said. That's what I said. And we are. We are. we are at... So Chris Hedges started a show called On Contact. And I've been waiting to find a clip that wasn't really, really long that I could run. And I like this. This is good. This is Chris talking with an author who's written a book on American poverty and the reality of where it really stands. It's not what our government reports. There's way more people in America that are poor than we realize. And many of us are one of them, right? Not making enough money to actually survive in this country. It's a pretty common theme these days. And so we're going to watch this. We're going to watch the first half of this. It's 12 minutes long, so settle in. And it's called The Plight of the Underclass with Lynn Din, I believe is this gentleman's name. And he himself was a refugee in America and survived some, not fun times. So let's watch this, get educated, sit back, and also thank RT News, Chris Hedges, everybody that has the, like RT News. I was joking with Laura and Markus earlier that there were a couple people that had hit comments up to me in the last couple of weeks, said, sorry for your trouble with YouTube. You're obviously a high profile, and there's a reason why you're getting shut down, which made me chuckle. I mean, I appreciate saying that, but I'm not a high profile by any means comparatively. RT News is taking talent off the internet, good talent off the internet, and building quality shows with them, right? And the moniker of RT News, I think only only older folks are associating that with Russian television. Today, younger folks associate that with television that's not as fucked up as American television. And so it's kind of cool. I just want to thank RT News for taking the time to put together decent material. I'm not saying it's without bias, just saying it's better than what's coming out of American TV today. Here's Chris Hedges on Contact.
Welcome to On Contact. Today we discuss the irrevocable decline of the American empire with poet and author Lynn Din.
We are really the poorest country on earth, and people refuse to see that. You know, we only surviving, we're only looking good because of our military might, because we are an empire. But this farce cannot go on forever.
On Contact with Chris Hedges. When we look back on this sad, pathetic period in American history, we will ask the questions all who have slid into despotism ask. Why were we asleep? Why did we allow this to happen? Why didn't we see it coming? Why didn't we resist? Why did we allow the corporate state to strip away the rights of poor people of color and force them to live in terror in many police states? Why did we permit corporations to deindustrialize our nation and thrust the working class into poverty? Why did we swallow the absurdity of neoliberal ideology that told us the dictates of the marketplace and Wall Street should govern every aspect of our society? Why did the press and the academy stand mute as money replaced the vote and lobbyists authored our laws? Why did they render the poor and the working poor invisible? RT correspondent Anya Parampel looks at the plight of over half the country living in poverty.
In his 1961 inaugural address, John F. Kennedy declared, "The world is very different now, for man holds in his mortal hands the power to abolish all forms of human poverty and all forms of human life." Over 5 decades later, that power to abolish human poverty has not been harnessed in the United States. According to the Social Security Administration, as of 2015, half of the American population made $30,000 a year or less. Working a 40-hour work week, that comes to a wage of about $14.42 an hour. According to the Alliance for Just Society, a living wage in the U.S. would be more like $16.87 an hour. And that's just to afford the basics. And while poverty doesn't discriminate, it does impact some groups of people more than others. According to Poverty USA, as of 2015, 14.8% of American women live in poverty, compared with 12.2% of men. 14.9% of single dads are in dire straits, while a whopping 28.2% of single moms live below the poverty threshold. As you can imagine, this means children are impacted most. In 2015, 19.7% of American children, that's 1 out of every 5, lived in conditions of poverty. The National Center on Family Homelessness found in 2013 that 2.5 million children experienced homelessness at some point during the year. That's 1 in every 30 children in the U.S. But it's not just children. The elderly suffer as well, with the senior poverty rate weighing in at 13.7%. Overall, Black Americans have the highest poverty rate at 24.1%, with Hispanics making up the second poorest demographic. 11.4% of Asians live in poverty, while whites have the lowest rate at 9%. While we may as a society have the resources and tools to alleviate the suffering of these people, as Kennedy believed, for nearly half of the population, just making enough money to survive is a struggle.
Thank you, Anya. Lynn Din is author of Postcards from the End of America. In the book, he lifts up the voices of those who've been disappeared by our corporate state. The homeless in tent cities, the elderly and sick, those working 70 hours a week, barely able to survive, and those struggling with the violence, addictions, despair, and abuse that always comes with chronic poverty. He chronicles from city to city in graphic and moving detail the accelerating collapse of the United States and its tragic human cost. Thank you. So the power of this book is that you both give voice and a visual, I think, not only through your photographs, but through your brilliant writing. You take half of this country which has been rendered invisible and make them visible. And I think in doing that, you expose what's happening within the American empire. If there's a common thread in terms of, you know, the cities that you go to, the experiences that you write about, the lives that you chronicle, what is it?
Well, I would say it's more than half. I think the majority of the people in this country are living the lives I describe in my book. And I'm always surprised by how astounded some readers get by my depictions, because they say, wow, these are the down and outs, these are the low lives, who are these people? These are the people I've known all my lives.
Right.
You know, so the commonality that I see is this growing despair and degree of anger. And so it gives rise to the false narrative that we, in the recovery, that we're doing so well. We're not doing well at all.
Describe a little bit about, we were talking before on air about Barbara Ehrenreich describing the life of the poor as one long emergency, that kind of stress, which is a kind of common theme throughout the lives that you chronicle. Describe a little bit about, you know, what the emotional state, both the economic and emotional state of the people you write about.
Well, even when things were relatively going well, these lives were very difficult, you know, because I was a house painter, I was a house cleaner. I worked with these people. I mean, it wasn't like an experiment. I mean, I had to do these jobs, and I could barely believe how difficult it was to get by day to day. Physically and mentally and spiritually. So it has only gotten harder because the anxiety and the stress of losing your job or not being able to perform your job daily is astounding. And I would say it affects a majority of Americans right now. So, and it's not only going to get worse, you know, but you can't see it from a privileged place like, say, Manhattan.
Right.
Or the Bay Area.
You can't see it. The corporate media doesn't reflect this reality either.
But see, the thing is, whenever they talk about unemployment figures or the state of the economy, you read the comments, okay, you know, and the comments, people howling and cursing the article, but so most people know that these articles are just nonsense.
Right.
But you know, if you're not threatened, you know, with your livelihood, you will tend to believe these articles. You know, I think there's an intellectual class, people who reads. You, for example, or me, for example, you know, read alternative news. We're not talking about CNN or Fox News. We're talking about even alternative media. Even the people who read alternative media don't know how bad it is.
Well, you got to go. The only way to know is to do what you did, which is go there.
Yeah.
That's it. And most people don't go there. Even people whose sympathies might be with the underclass don't go.
And you know, what's more disturbing, there's a hatred of these people.
Yeah. That's
know?
right. That's You're very right.
I think on the left always pretend to talk about the masses, the working class, but it really hates the working class. It does. You know, because it doesn't pay any attention to the working class, and it mocks their values.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it mocks them. It ridicules them. It makes fun of them as irredeemable racists, as bigots, as uneducated.
And they're not. They're not. I mean. These people are not alien to me. I've been around the so-called underclass my whole life because I'm a part of the underclass. Okay, I mean, I may not look this way now because I have my funeral and wedding suit on, but you know, day to day, these are my people. Okay, so I'm just saying, they know how to accommodate other people, other races, other ethnic groups, because they have to deal with that daily. Okay, the underclass has no means of withdrawing into the enclave. You know, they have to take the bus, they have to take the train, they have to drink at bars that are mixed with, you know, all kinds of different types of people. So the underclass is actually less racist than the educated class, in my experience. You know, because they're less condescending to me, in my experience.
To what extent, you came to the United States at the age of 11, is that correct, from Vietnam as a refugee? In a sense, I mean, I think all of the great, brilliant chroniclers of any society are kind of one step removed, outsiders, people like W.E. Du Bois or James Baldwin. To what extent does that separation allow you to see things that perhaps those of us who are native to the United States, well, I mean, after displacing indigenous people, are unable to see?
Well, yes, I mean, I'm an outsider because I arrived here as an immigrant. I write in English, which is not my native.
I mean, you were a refugee.
I was a refugee too.
And you were living in tents like
Yes.
Syrians.
Sure. And, I was living in tents in Guam and living in army barracks in Arkansas. And, I'm also writing in a language not my own. Okay, so of course I'm an outsider, but that's fine. That used to disturb me. I used to try to figure out a way to wiggle in, but I realized it's hopeless because I'm not part of the any kind of mainstream, which is fine because then I realized a lot of Americans are not part of the mainstream either,
right.
Including white Americans. So I don't draw this boundary, this distinction between, say, people of color, so to speak, and white Americans, because a lot of white Americans are also alienated and also excluded from any participation in this economy, in this culture, in any meaningful way.
I want to read a passage from your book. Along with the visible decay that can be seen in cities and small towns alike, there is a widespread malaise afflicting the American spirit. And this is most acutely felt among the younger set. If they have gone to college, then they are most likely crippled with insane debt while stuck in a job that doesn't require their overpriced yet diluted education, acquired with bankster loans. To make ends meet, they're living in a crowded shared apartment or a home with mom and dad again. As for the professions, many are rotten with fraud, corruption, and other immoralities. What a quaint word. So that to hold even the lowliest job in the military, police, government, banking, accounting, insurance, healthcare, media, advertising, or the academy, etc., is to swim among crooks and liars, and it's all too easy to become a cynical and sinister asshole yourself. But you're writing about the emerging generation here. And what is that doing to this next generation? Because perhaps unlike their parents, they, from the beginning, don't buy the American dream.
Yes, because they pay too much for college, and they're in debt for life. And basically, I'm describing the Occupy crowd, the people who populate all these Occupy encampments across the country. And those are the same people who are on the streets now protesting Trump.
Right.
Okay, so I mean, I can see the anger and the frustration, but I think they've been misdirected because with the Occupy movement, it started out with a very clear focus, which was the bankers is the source of the problem, and then it became all over the place.
Right.
Okay, and because it was all over the place, it had no clear agenda. It alienated the people it should have, enlisted, into the movement. So, the growing frustration, the growing despair of growing up without a future is something I see a lot, with the younger generation.
We'll come back to that after this break. Thanks. We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll hear more from Lynn Dinh, author of Postcards from the End of America.
And we're going to stop there, although we could run the second half tomorrow for Tuesday if you guys were really digging that. Or you can go there and watch the rest of that too. That was awesome. And I have, although I want to show you this. Here. This is Jesse Ventura gets his own show with RT News. Jesse's World. I wish that I had Jesse's World. Sorry, just had to go there. I do though. What a great world! He gets to ride a motorcycle around the country. He gets his own show. I don't even know if he was a decent politician, but at least he seems more reasonable than what we got now.
Yeah.
Right?
Instead of playing soccer, you should have been wrestling, John.
I know. No, way too harsh on the body. I would never have survived. What would have been like the elastic boy, the stick boy? I would have not lasted for shit. I would have been. It's the elastic nerd takes a chair to the skull. Yeah, no, that would not. No, I would not. No, although my kids used to watch. I grew up watching Hulk Hogan and those guys, the old days, Andre the Giant, Destroyer Mark 3 or 2 or whatever fucking number he was. The really old guys. Right, and that was that whole generation. The Hulk would rip his shirt off. Everything. When I was dealing with kids in my 30s, they were still going to this WWF thing. I think it had been changed to E by that time because of some lawsuit or something. But they had this thing called Raw. I'm just going to go off diverge on this story for a moment because it was hilarious. And my kids were of the age where they thought wrestling was fun. And so I was the parent that got stuck with the take your kids to the wrestling match because it'll be fun and just do it. It's like, all right.
God.
So it was Raw. I lived in LA at the time. So we went to the big, I think it was Staples Center for the Raw, whatever the enclosed one is. They keep, whoever buys it that year sticks their name on it, whatever it's called. I don't remember, Moda Center. Anyway, packed. Place is packed. And what you see on TV is a very condensed version of the bullshit that happens all the time you're there, because there's a lot of breaks for commercials and a lot of stupid crap in between. In between, they're rallying the crowd, and the crowd brings these signs. And my kid brought these signs, both kids. They're like 9 and I don't even know how old they were. They were young. Anyway, they brought signs, right, for their favorite wrestlers. And Alex loved The Rock, so we had a sign about The Rock. This was back when he was wrestling. And Chase, I don't know who Chase was thinking. I think Kane. Chase like Kane. If you remember him. That's not who you're named after, is it, Marcus? Kane the wrestler? Because he.
Yes, he was he was due to the story. He was the brother of the Undertaker.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. You know the story. My God, you watched the wrestling. Holy shit. Was this popular in Germany at the time?
A few channel showed wrestling, and it was only one show, and I think it was SmackDown. And later, some years later, it was Raw also. And yes, I sometimes watched it. Yes.
All right. So it was Raw when we were watching it. Here's the thing. I'll get to the funny part, and then we'll move on. So we're sitting up in the rafters. Our seats are pretty high up. And my kids have their signs. And I'm sitting there next to a couple parents. All the parents are there together with all their kids because the kids. And I'm laughing at my kids and their signs, and I'm having a good time. And this parent leans over to me and says, "We forgot our signs in the car. I'm so sad." He was serious. He wasn't. They forgot their signs in the car. This parent was excited to be there. This parent was sad that he had forgotten his sign for his wrestler. Okay, that's what told me there was some difference in the viewing audience in California, right? This, parent, and there are people that's still today. But that's all I wanted to say about that. The reason I was thinking about that was what Lynn Din said about racism. About the people that are, about where he felt the most pushback. He said it was with the elites. He said it was with the educated, not the underclass, right? And I thought that was interesting. I thought that was a very interesting statement. He said a few things that made me laugh. I want to say, so he mentioned his suit. Did you hear him say this? He said, "You wouldn't think I'm a member of the underclass because I'm wearing my wedding and funeral suit."
Yes.
Which I understand. I wear this. If I'm forced to wear a suit, I have that one jacket, right? That is for Miriam and Barium, right? And that's so. Anyway, I just density, Marcus. You never cease to amaze me. That's a nice comment there.
I think he refers to my wrestling opinion that I watch wrestling.
I agree. That surprised me. Like, really? You kidding? That's interesting.
Yeah. Because it was for me, it was interesting to see the storytelling aspect, and
right. You
cannot deny that. It is no real competition, it is no sport, but from the artistic point of view, it is very impressive. The story was good told, and it was alright. Okay.
I agree. I agree. The theatrical aspect of it, the violent theater. I think somebody put up there. That's exactly what it was. This is mystery violence theater, right? That's exactly what it was. So anyway, he mentioned his suit. He talked about the elites versus the underclass and where he felt more welcome and who handled diversity more. And he's absolutely right. And I was thinking about that. It's not just those who are always integrated in society and are forced to be surrounded by other cultures and get along with other cultures. But when I was growing up, there was a term I remember my mom had, and it was something she wanted to be. It was a part of being an educated adult, I guess an educated white privileged adult in our world, because that's what my world was. But it was called well-traveled, right? Going to other places and understanding what's going there, not being a tourist, a white tourist somewhere, and wanting white world and wondering where your luxuries are, well-traveled, going and learning about other cultures, going and seeing what it looks like outside of the little bubble that they create for you on your vacation. Right? That's and when you're well-traveled, you understand diversity, and it helps to educate and inform, and it usually removes whatever fears or concerns there were that make you racist. That's so it just makes sense there. The people that don't, and tying that into Bernie's message, right? Go see the woman who can't afford to work 5 jobs and cover the bills and feed her children, right? Go out into the streets. Go be a representative. In order to represent, you got to see who the hell you're representing. And if all you do is meet with other rich fucks in suit and ties, you really have no idea who you're representing, do you? I love that message. You want to understand the culture around you. You have to immerse yourself within that culture. You can't just stand aside and analyze it and judge it. And I saw a Facebook thing the other day was kind of like that. It was some actual gang member talking about watching things on TV and social media where white folks like me have made up their decisions about what gangs are like and put together memes and things for it. And they're like, you guys have no fucking idea what we do you? You just make shit up. And that's true. That's true. That's something we white people like to do. Make up perspectives without really learning anything about what we're talking about. We're good at that. Sorry, we go from really serious stuff to not really serious stuff quickly. There's no smooth... no smooth... Bernice, you're sending me cosmic cookies. That sounds wonderful. That sounds yummy. I'm excited about that. I still have a couple of those cookies left, actually. I didn't give them all to Dave. I want to make sure I didn't forget anything on my list. Hang on. We've gone plaid. Deep shit. Nope, now we're into climate science. Apocalypse party favors. I think this is a great idea. I think if you could make them look a little bit more like, I don't know, politicians. I don't know how you would do this. I love this idea. I think it is, I think it's great. It's totally not serious. So we just need to, everybody needs to do a left turn and fireproof human skulls for your gas fireplace. Barbecue or fire pit.
God. Oh my God. I had a landscape design client that loved that.
I think that's badass.
We did a whole Gothic theme for their whole thing. It was all pointy arches and black plants. And oh my God, that would have been perfect. That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm going to make a fire pit now. It's
a must for every Walking Dead fan in the living room. You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Very good point, Marcus. Absolutely. That's Walking Dead material right there. But you could do like the heads of people, you know, you could expand on that a lot, I guess is where I'm going.
I see good Halloween decorations. Lots of potential there.
Yeah. And it's made of lava rock, crushed lava rock, reformed, which, you know, so it's just going to be like
soak them in lighter fluid and light them. You could have flaming skulls like Nick Cage.
You're already coming up with better ideas. Yeah. That's awesome. Oh yeah. Oh, that was something else you mentioned. I want to go back to that because somebody just talked about it. He put down Occupy. Jilly, Jilly Love. I don't know if that's who you were talking about, but I wanted to talk about what what's his damn name? The author we were just listening to. The guy from Lynn Din. What he said about the Occupy movement was very interesting. He said the same thing that everybody says about the Occupy movement, but we heard from the gentleman, one of the gentlemen who started that movement, and what he learned from it. And I wish Chris Hedges and Lynn would learn that lesson. I mean, they know that lesson. Actually, I'm sorry, they know that lesson, but it wasn't the Micah White. I don't know if you remember. This was the moment for me when I went ding 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 ding. Right? Occupy started against the banks. Then they realized that they had no power. Right? And that what they were fighting was far beyond banks. They were fighting an entire corrupt institution that included the police forces that ousted them from where they were. And what Michael White learned at that point was that you will never regain sovereignty over your government through protest.
Exactly.
Just echo those words in your head right now. You will never regain sovereignty over your government, any government, through protest. It must be done by becoming the government. And we are doing that right now. And it's so exciting. What's up, Marcus?
There's one exception, I'm afraid.
Yes?
The big exception was when Germany was reunited. When East Germany stood up, protested, and the government couldn't take it anymore, and said, "Okay, you got. If you want to go, then you can go," and they opened the frontiers.
All right, but you weren't doing a full government takeover. You were protesting for an issue. All right?
Yes, of course, yes.
It was a big issue. You were protesting for a big issue, like civil rights or something like that. You take down the fucking wall. That was a big protest, and reuniting the countries. Was that the wall, or was that after the wall, or was that the whole part of the same thing?
It was in the main place. It was a revolution against the communist or socialistic regime in the former East German DDR.
So
the people couldn't.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, the people couldn't bear it any longer to live there with being under pressure by Stasi and a government who doesn't know what to do, completely in debt, and there was no future for them. And then they stood up and said, "No, we are." They organized marches for months, and every Monday march it became more and more people. At least it was several millions on the streets. You know.
Wow. See, I know none of this.
Really?
You're talking about
Okay.
Yeah. You're talking about East Germany, right? You're talking about what West Germany was doing. Okay, East Germany was not. And so,
Yes.
as an American growing up, when that went down, which was 88, 89, right around there.
It was 89.
89. You know, here's American version. Ronald Reagan said, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall," and it came down, and Germans reunited, and everybody was happy.
It was not quite so, because the communistic countries the system broke together. It wasn't working any longer. Hungary was one of the first countries who said no. Because they had so many refugees from other communist countries, and they said we cannot keep them any longer here in Hungary. We got to give them free and let them pass to the western regions of Europe.
Right.
And this was the start. And then Gorbachev he met Honecker, who was the chancellor of the DDR at that time, and he told Mr. Honecker that if he doesn't realize the science of history, the history will pass him. And this is exactly what happened, because Gorbachev was already made deals with Kohl, the Bundeschancellor of Germany, and was it Reagan or was it his follower? I don't know exactly. Who was president in '89? It was
Bush
Reagan.
won.
Bush. It was Bush one.
Reagan to Bush won, right?
Yes,
or was
yes.
that? Yeah.
Yes, and the deals were made, and Gorbachev agreed that Germany can get reunited. But one of his demands was that the NATO would stay in its borders and not try to increase their influence in the direction to the east.
Fair enough.
Exactly this happened, and this is why Putin is so pissed. This is one of the reasons.
Well.
But the Germans stood up. The East Germans stood up against their government, and millions were on the streets, and the government couldn't stop them anymore.
Wow, that's impressive. See, America was never told that history.
I'll bring you some footage for next week.
All right, I like that. Sounds good. All right, we got 9 minutes. We're gonna get through the rest of science and weed. I didn't know that the apocalypse fireplace stuff was gonna get so serious. Who knew? This is not good. This is climate stuff. This is for 3 months and counting, and actually they determined it's been longer than that, I think. Pipeline leaks natural gas into Cook Inlet. This is to get the reason we're showing this is to give you scope. This is a helicopter flying over the Cook Inlet. What you are seeing are giant bubbles of natural gas just erupting out of the ocean and going into the atmosphere here. Well, it will be played as soon as I refresh the page. Here. There you go. That's insane. That's a pipe. That's a pipeline. It's broken.
Good grief.
That's huge. That's so much. That's just... yeah.
It's a mess.
So it's 99% methane, just so everybody knows. 210,000 cubic feet of gas a day. That's just one leak. One leak. Yes, I will do the reason clip at the end of Tuesday. I promise you I will do the reason clip at the end of Tuesday, Bernice Panders. Promise, promise, promise. I do. Almost done, folks. But there was just so much good stuff. You'll enjoy hearing this. You will really enjoy hearing this. I'm not even really sure what the full argument is. Don't necessarily have to watch it. We have to watch it there. Yeah. I don't know what the full argument is here. All I know is that South Australia is a state, and I guess the other part of Australia or whatever, or North Australia, the bigger part, hasn't been treating them very kindly. South Australia's been working towards renewable energy, more so apparently than the rest of Australia, and they put these two guys together that are not friendly, the North and South Australia, and I'm giving you a very rough understanding of this. If we have any Australians in the audience, please fill in the gaps. But basically, the reason I'm playing this is because this is the kind of politicians we want to bring into our government. This guy makes it very clear how he feels publicly, and the other guy has to stand there and take it. It'll remind you a lot of the Irish PM making statements while Trump had to stand there like he had a duty in his pants. Mm-hmm. So let's watch this. This will make you smile.
I spoke to the Prime Minister.
Yeah, and we got to restart it again. Here.
I spoke to the Prime Minister this morning. It shows that we are focused on renewables. We're focused on storage, and we are doing it in different parts of the country at the same time. The Prime Minister and I worked very closely together yesterday with my other colleagues, Matt Canavan and Arthur Sinodinos, on this important agreement with the gas players.
Premier, do you find this a bit galling?
Yes, I mean it shows that the Commonwealth Government are in a white-knuckled panic about national energy policy. I mean, it's a $2 billion admission that the national energy market is broken, and there needs to be public investments to actually fix it up. And that's exactly what it was at the heart of our plan. We're not going to wait 4 to 7 years, though, to invest in some snowy hydro scheme. We're investing here so that South Australia can become self-sufficient. I've got to say, it is a little galling to be standing here next to a man that's been standing up with his Prime Minister, bagging South Australia at every step of the way over the last 6 months, to be standing here on this occasion, him suggesting that we want to work together. It is a disgrace the way in which your government has treated our state. It is the most anti-South Australian government we have seen from a Commonwealth government in living memory. What we have is a national energy market that is broken. We had a Prime Minister that came in here to this state during the course of the last federal election campaign, celebrating our leadership in relation to renewable energy, and then taking credit for it through his own renewable energy target. And for you to then turn around within a few short months when there's a blackout and point the finger at South Australia for the fact that our leadership in renewable energy was the cause of that problem is an absolute disgrace. And you'd be standing here, sitting next to us, trying to take credit for some small scheme which goes nowhere near fixing the size and the extent of the problems that have been created in this state is an outrage.
Take that.
That's... Yeah.
Look at his face.
Yeah, that guy is like, get me out of here. His face is turning red. He's like, he hates his job right now. The other guy reminds me of like Bernie Sanders. Don't you think?
Yeah.
I love that.
Bernie Sanders would not slam a guy next to him like he did.
No, he wouldn't. He's too nice.
He would find more polite words, but it was a nice slapping.
It was great. It was good to watch since we don't really get that here. We don't really get there with our politicians. Even better, I told you we're going to go through some ridiculousness. Mm-hmm. This is not just green. I'm just going to give everybody some advice for going on camera now that we've got a lot of independent media. When you go on TV anywhere, don't wear a solid color of anything, all right? I mean, black, I suppose, but solid color tie, solid color shirt, bright color like that can be messed with green screen. Sean Spicer wore a solid green tie for St. Patrick's Day, and look what kind of fun we can have with Spicer's tie.
Oh, right. Unique ability to go far.
Here, let me run that again. He says,
and I think that the president's been very clear as to what his priorities on this budget are, and the outcomes that we expect from every dollar that we spend. So, for being in office for 55 days or 50 some odd days, whatever it's been, we've had a unique ability to go forward so far. And I think that the president's been very clear as to what his priorities.
There you go. Planet's dying, but we've got green screen tie on Spicy.
The Shining. Great.
Spicier ties. Which is actually kind of a cool idea. If you think about that. You do green screen and like you wear that on purpose and go into a restaurant. They make it a theme. Or going to project shit onto you, or I don't know. That's a whole. That would be interesting now that we can play around with that.
So Melissa McCarthy should have been on the tie.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. That would have been good. That would have been good. Is that with Joanne? Very nice.
Yeah.
This is even. I don't know what to say about this. So, Trump supporters showing their best lately. From, tens showing up at rallies to support Trump to...
tens of tens.
Tens of tens. Yes, tens of tens showing up to rallies. To boycott Hawaii, which was a very successful campaign. And now, boycott Snoop Dogg. Why? Aww. Because Snoop Dogg did the video, and the name of the video is Lavender. I misspoke the other day, but supporters of Snoop Dogg are calling for a boycott. The thing that most Snoop Dogg fans realized on Twitter quickly was that we're separate demos. There really aren't a lot of people listening to Snoop Dogg that also voted for 45. So go ahead, boycott away. I think his demo's fine. Just like Hawaii, both will survive your lack of consumerism.
Indeed, they will.
Please stay away, and nobody wants you at his concerts, for fuck's sake. That's just the best. You guys, you try so hard. I really feel you try so hard.
They have not figured out the internet yet.
No.
And it's still sad.
They're working on it.
Oh God, what's that?
I can imagine.
This is special to my heart because I used to have Milo, who isn't here right now. Told you that we're going to do some serious stuff. Milo used to do this. I don't know, when dogs are puppy a certain age or whatever, they just go hyper humping, and this is I think
you need to switch it over to the screen.
This is Trump Dog here. Just going at it.
Oh, it squeaks.
Yeah, getting the respect he deserves. There you go. One more time, because this is quality television. Oh, blow it up even. Oh, whoops. There.
Oh, there's a bird in the background. I thought he was making this.
I don't know. I can't tell why they're doing that. It's just... Maybe the dog only humps to the tweets. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that makes sense considering he's always on Twitter.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's more respect for the president. Is that more disrespectful than pretend shooting? I don't know. Face fucking. That's a Chihuahua face fucking the president.
Oh my
in whatever you call that, reverse cowboy, I guess. That's what what's going on there with the Chihuahua. Reverse cowboy face fucking the president. Let's see if YouTube blocks this. That's basically what they're doing there.
Oh no.
Yeah. That's there. My gosh, see, we made it. 12:02. Okay, we're late, but we made it.
We started late.
We're going out with some. This is kind of cool. I remember playing this. It's Irish. So yesterday was St. Paddy's Day, and I don't know. Did anybody do anything? Did you go get drunk for St. Patrick's Day? Anybody? You, Marcus? You feeling it?
No.
No, Laura, you went. No, I can't say anything. Never mind. Shit.
You can say it. You can say it. I went on an unsuccessful date. You'll say it. Yes, and I didn't eat. And I wore green, but I didn't drink anything green, and I was home very early.
All right, and just yes, and a message to all single men dating: don't mention your ass on any date. Like
no prostate.
Prostate. Well, anything about that. But see, you go near that area, just like why? There seems to be a thing with older men talking about their prostate
on a first date.
On a first date, yeah. Laura, yeah. Do you want to tell the whole story?
Oh no.
Okay.
That's enough.
Okay,
that really is quite enough.
Have no idea what the hair. Anyway, that has nothing to do with the Irish thing that we're going to end on. I
remember this from last year, and it just reminds me of how happy we were and how excited we were this time last year.
Yeah. Me too. This was, positive times when we were thinking Bernie was, there was a Bernie at the end of the rainbow, and that the rainbow was going to get us there, and that our government had some semblance of ethics and morality still, and that the DNC wasn't wholly corrupt, and that our election process wasn't rigged, and that there wasn't this entire underpinning of little jobs and titles and people that pushed buttons that made things happen that we had to learn about, right? And that's what's cool about this. Is that this is just Irish song, Irish Bernie song. I remember when this came through, the Vermont Celtic Co. And they did a couple different pieces. A guy with his Celtic drum, and the words in the song, part of them say "make them feel the burn." And I think at the time that we were playing this, and we were going through this in the primaries, we were feeling the burn, and we had no idea how to turn that into action. We're just all hyped up on the drug of Bernie. Right? And then there was this big withdrawal and letdown when the Bernie drug was taken away. And we realized that reality had set in and we had to do this ourselves. And so I listened to this song now and I listened to the words and I'm like, but we know how to do this. We know how to do this now. I know how to make them feel the burn. I have to go get involved in my government. I have to protest. I have to pay attention. I have to be awake. I have to let them know how I feel. I have to hold town halls, even if they don't show up. Laura, you asked me how the Joni Ernst town hall was, and I think the one thing that Marcus and I both agreed on, and everybody agreed on, was how it was well done. Joni Ernst stood there and took the beatings. The crowd was loud. The crowd was had their shit to say, and their voice was heard. She understands that if she does not act on behalf of her constituents, and then she will lose her job.
I loved the clip you played earlier this week at that other town hall where the guy told someone to shut up, and they said, "You don't tell us to shut up. You work for us."
Right.
That was a highlight of the week.
That right there. Yeah. We didn't get that in the primaries. We didn't understand. That was like, but of course that's understood. No, we didn't. We have to reteach that. Okay? We get it. We're awake. We're gonna make it us. This is just make them feel the burn. Irish tune. Why not? We're a day late on the Irish stuff, but it was good to wait for all the memes, right? Thank you guys. Tomorrow, how will you know about tomorrow? Oh, that's a good question, Lynn. So go over to Truth Against the Machine YouTube channel and subscribe if you're not already. And hopefully we'll be able to put up an event there soon. I'm still waiting for access. And then there'll be an event, and then I'll blast it out through Bernie 2016 TV and drop it in Slack, and we'll get it out to everybody. If you don't see an event created by this evening, more than likely it's not happening. I'm going to need that. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on. But hopefully that's and also I know it's totally blowing my ending here, but to patrons, to those of you who are still patrons of me at John Ellis and not the new Uphill Media, thank you. I really appreciate it. Let me know on Patreon, and I'm going to post a couple messages there. I know I don't do really anything much there, and I'm terrible at it. But, you guys get some special something. I don't know. Tell me what you want. But I need to spend some time with you guys. And so, we'll go over there and just let me know. Let me know what I could do. Let me know what you'd like to see or I value your opinion, and you're paying for it anyway. So, hey, that's say that. So thank you. And everybody who's volunteering here, everybody who joined in the Slack, everybody that's helping out, Laura, Markus, things are revving up again. And I can't believe some of you are still here. So thank you all.
Can't wait.
All right. Say goodbye, Laura.
Bye, everybody. See you maybe tomorrow. I'll be in comment moderating for the new show.
Yay.
If we do one.
Yay.
Yeah.
Say goodbye, Mark.
Have a great weekend, dear America, and see you on Tuesday.
All right. And thank you. And yes, Bev, I am getting money from Patreon now that I understand that it's my responsibility to go in there and tell it to send me money every month. It happens. So thank you. Thank you all. Here we go. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for the show. If not, Tuesday.
Oh, then tell me, Jane O'Mara, tell me why you hurry so. Hush a buckle, hush and the sand, and her eyes were all aglow. I hear orders from the people, we're all ready, it's our turn. Get out the vote on election day and we'll make them feel the burn. We'll make them feel the burn, we'll make them feel the burn. Get out the vote on election day and we'll make them feel the burn. Tell me, Jane O'Mara Sanders, where the voting is to be. Every city, town and village and the old land of the free. Let the world hear our people lie and let the world learn. We're taking back our country and we'll make them feel the burn. We'll make them feel the burn. We'll make them feel the burn. We're taking back our country and we'll make them feel the burn. For the future generations, for the memory of the dead, for the children of Michigan, downtrodden by boots of lead. The only true security is fear and hatred's burn. For the love of all humanity, we'll make them feel the burn. We'll make them feel the burn. We'll make them feel the burn. For the love of all humanity, we'll make them feel the burn. This turtle island, all along the Rio Grande, we must feed and teach and nurture every woman, child and man, every color, creed and